is Ryan from Masuva, and in this video I'm going to explain the eCommerce with Shopify add-on for ConcreteCMS. What this add-on does is connect up a Shopify store with your ConcreteCMS website. And the reason you might want to do this is that you might have a fully fledged website set up already with Concrete, and you might want to just add some e-commerce functionality to it, sell a couple of products. Or you might want to have more than a few products, but you don't want to use Shopify's store builder and all of its CMS and pages and setup. Instead, you might want to use all the power of Concrete to do that, which makes a lot of sense. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to set it up and some of the things you can do with it. So here I have a Shopify store set up. Now, one of the things you can do with this setup is use the light plan for Shopify, which means that you don't need to pay even the basic price. At the time of this video, I think it's about $9 US a month for the light plan. And the idea of the light plan is that you can manage all of your products and all of your orders as you normally would with Shopify, but you don't get a storefront out of it. You have to embed the products in your own website, and that's perfect in this example. So here we have a bunch of summer shirts, and I've already set them up and set some of them up different stock levels and prices. And here's my very vanilla Concrete install. So let's install the add-on. So you install this through the marketplace. And what this does is give you two options. One is that you can uncheck this option and it just installs the bare minimum, and then you can set it up how you like. Or you can leave this checked, and what this will do is set up a page type and composer and just make it a little bit easier to get started. So let's hit install. Okay, so once you've installed it, the first step is to actually hook up the site with some API keys. Now I've already done that, but here you can see under the configuration, there's my test store, there's some private keys, and it's really easy to go into Shopify and create these. Once that's set up, you're ready to start adding products. So what this add-on does is it sets up a new page type called Shopify product, and it allows you to type in the product name. And if I scroll down to the bottom, you can see it maps to a Shopify product. So let me start off with summer shirt blue beers. So summer shirt blue beers. And we then pick the matching product here, and we pick a image out of the sitemap. Now this setup here is just the default. There's no reason why you can't add your own page attributes, expand this, change this however you like, because ultimately this is just another Concrete page type, and this is just the defaults that have been set up. So if I publish this page now, here we've got a page with some defaults set up, and down the bottom here you'll see that we have a Shopify button that's appeared. It's given me the options, and if I hit add to cart, you can see that it will add the product to a pop-out cart on the right here. This won't appear until there's a cart, there's some items in the cart, and but this has automatically been added to the site, the scripting of the site, so you don't have to worry about that. So straight away, we've got, within 2 minutes, we've got the ability to add products to your site. So from here, it's a standard Shopify checkout. So there's two options. One is that it will pop up, a little pop-up like this, which is really good for mobile. It works really well because it doesn't hide your site. The other option is you can actually set it to redirect to the checkout page, which would look more like that. And from this point onwards, this is handled by Shopify. So all of the checkout, all of the payments, the shipping, and the post payment options like tracking, that can all be handled by Shopify and all the options it's got. So the other thing this has is that it has a top level products page, and it has, this is a page list block that's been added, but it uses a custom template that's included that will look at each page and work out what product it's mapping to. So if I had another product here, go through that quickly again. So I'll pick, let's pick one that has, let's pick the Yellow Mountains. So we'll say Yellow Mountains. And we'll add a little bit of lorem ipsum in there. And there's our product that's published. Now note this one is out of stock. So these things here will automatically reflect what is happening in your Shopify shop. So it will reflect your stock levels. It will also reflect the different prices. So if you have different options, and you can have multiple options per product, it will change the price and reflect that. Now this is a standard layout. This just is a simple layout, but there's no reason why it has to look this way. It's up to you, because this is your site, that you can modify this template. So let's have a look at how we would do that. If we go to page types, we can see the Shopify product one here. If we go to the output, we've got a full output, and there you can see there's our blocks that we would expect: the page name, the thumbnail, and the Shopify buy button block. What I can do though is I could add a layout, and I could say 2 columns here, and I might leave the page name at the top, but I'm going to put the thumbnail over here. I'm going to put the page description over here, and I'm going to put the button there. Now if I add another page, and I don't think I've done the purple pineapples yet. So I don't think I've done that one. So I'll add that one in there. Another incredible and we pick the purple pineapples, and I'll pick corresponding one here. Now in Shopify you will have a thumbnail image for each product. You don't have to use the same image here. You might also want to add to your page a gallery block or some other layout with different descriptions, or you might even have an ad hoc page you've already created that explains your product with videos and all sorts of things, and you might want to just add a block over the top to add the checkout functionality. So there you go, there's a new layout and new pages created, and that's all it took, and that's all using Concrete 5's default controls. So the final thing is about commenting about the styling for this. Now the styling of this checkout here is handled by Shopify, but I've configured this to be quite simple and plain. So this should match with pretty much any site out there. However, if you do want to change things like the button color or even the font, there is a way to do that with an override file, and that's in the documentation. Then when it comes to these buttons here and these options here, keep in mind that this content and this content here, I'm just using some attribute blocks. So that's just going to take on the styling of the current theme. From here onwards is the Shopify block. And this is output onto the page. So this is just HTML onto the page, and it uses some Bootstrap classes by default, just so it matches with most common themes. However, you can target and style these with your own custom CSS as you like. So there's a lot of flexibility. And again, you can move this block around and do whatever you need. So if we go back to the products list, you can see there's my different options building up a catalog. And you could nest this page, you could change the settings so you have different categories. It's completely up to you. And then finally, the last thing I'll point out is that there is on the block itself. So if I look up Shopify and add a block here, there are 2 options on the block. One is that it will fetch it from a page attribute, and that's where I'm using it with the composer setup, where I'm selecting as a page attribute the Shopify product, and the block on the page just knows to say, hey, what's the ID of the product on the page? I'm just going to display that one. But if you're not wanting to create sort of a catalog, you're not even interested in having a composer page to run your products, you can simply go select the product and it'll give you the options here. And you can, you might want to add on some content. So this one was I think it was the red one I just added, the red sunset. So I'm going to add this here, just some standard content. And if I hit publish, there's my buttons for the red sunset shirt. And so you're able to move this button block around onto any page. It might be on your home page, you might want to promote something. The idea of this add-on is that it takes only a few minutes to integrate, and it gives you the ability to quickly refer to products from Shopify, but it gives you all the control of Concrete 5 and the styling that you might need. If there's any questions, please let me know. Cheers.